How's it going, boys? CASPR-AirTaxKing back at it again with a new Broken Arrow video on the channel. Today's video is going to be a news update. The devs just dropped this Devblog today on June the 12th, and it's regarding the spectator mode, which they are calling observer mode. This is one of the most requested features in the player base currently. It's probably secondary still to replay mode. I think everybody really wants replay mode because being able to review your own matches is really nice, and also being able to review the match if you think there is a cheater or if you're trying to do some sort of content creation. Replay mode is very useful. But the observer mode is and it's not a substitute, but it is at least something to keep us occupied, or at least gives us a taste of what replay mode will be in the future. And it is fundamentally a building block towards replay mode in the future. So let's read through this devblog and I'll give you my thoughts regarding it. Devblog 2.0 on June the 12th, observer mode. For a long time, one of the community's most requested features has been spectator functionality. There are many occasions when somebody needs to be present in a match without actively participating, from stream casting to tournament coverage. Are the two examples they give there. Today, we'd like to take a closer look at the upcoming observer mode, which is currently in the final stages of development. So they mentioned in the previous dev blog and dev stream, that was about a month ago now, or at least 2 to 3 weeks ago, that spectator mode, or observer mode as they're calling it, was most likely to come in the next technical patch, which is hopefully coming sometime in July. And that sounds like a long time away, but as you can see, it's already June 12th. So coming soon, hopefully. Previously, players who wanted to spectate had to either join one of the teams as an AFK teammate or rely on other solutions such as game recordings and restreaming through Discord. With the new system, the functionality of the waiting list in custom lobbies has been significantly improved. While it retains its original purpose, lobby host will now have an additional option, assigning a waiting player as a spectator for the upcoming match. And they give us a little visual here. I wonder, can I zoom in? Perfect. Okay, cool. So as you can see, this is kind of your generic Broken Arrow lobby menu. Let's see if I can get it nice and precise. There we go. So what we have currently is here, and I think there is a waitlist section there, but it's just 5v5. And now they're adding this waitlist and observer section down here. And as they mention here, the waiting list has been improved, so you can have this observer section. And as you can see, there's 3 little icons here that correspond to the different spectator teams, so to speak. And they go into depth on that in a second here. So being able to have spectators for upcoming matches is definitely huge for the competitive scene in particular. You'll have more people who are in the competitive scene, more streamcasters willing to pick up the game again, because as they mentioned, the only way that you were able to spectate was through really restreaming on Discord for live gameplay, which was really finicky because A, you had to jump between different Discords, and B, the quality of said Discord streams was variable and usually pretty poor. So the spectator assignment system has also been designed to be highly flexible. A spectator can be tied either to a specific side, Alpha or Bravo, as you can see here, A and B, or to a neutral one, being N. In the former case, they will only be able to spectate a match from the selected team's perspective, without the ability to switch sides. In the latter, they will be free to switch between A, Alpha, N, neutral, and B, Bravo perspectives, giving them complete freedom over what they see on the battlefield. To clarify, the lobby host can also become a spectator and even launch the battle without occupying a slot, as you can see here with the crown. So that's, they say this feature, they believe this feature will be especially appreciated by tournament organizers, as a considerable amount of time often had to be set up or spent simply setting up the lobby, since one of the participating players always had to act as a host. So that is actually really nice, because having this neutral party set up the server takes the onus away from one of the players. Yeah, it takes pressure off the players. It takes a lot of the impetus or emphasis over one of these players having to host. So that's actually really nice. And then the host being able to have, there's 4 slots here, which is nice too. So in theory, what you could do is you can have like 2 neutral observers, so they can be like casters, and then you could have on each team, in theory, you could have an A and a B. So you could have a sixth man, so to speak, on each team acting as a sort of manager or somebody who has the bird's eye view and doesn't have to pay attention to their units, and they can kind of just scout around, and be some, kind of like a visual support player, which actually sounds kind of interesting. So here they show off that you can select between the three different teams, so to speak, or three different options for the observers, and there's 4 free slots, and that opens up a lot of variability and customization or customability, whatever you want to say, for how people want to set up their games and their tournaments. In-game, spectators will have access not only to a free camera, but also to dedicated spectator UI, replacing the standard battle UI. We continue to refine 2 display modes for it, an overview featuring all player statistics and detailed player tracking. All right, so let's see here for a second. Okay. The first mode is fairly self-explanatory. Think of it as familiar to tab screen that no longer covers the entire battlefield, while also improving additional economy and KD statistics. The second mode, however, is where things become far more interesting. It provides a complete breakdown of a player's deck composition, updated in real time, allowing for spectators to instantly see which units remain available and in reserve. That's incredible. Wait a second. Okay, so yeah, this is like a generic look. So, okay, so they're switching down here. So you can see all Bravo, neutral, so you can see everyone. And then Alpha, really nice. You can see the different teams. You can see their statistics, their income as well. Really interesting. This is honestly pretty well thought out. But wait, so you can see their decks? Oh my lord. Wow, that is incredible. Wait a second. This is incredibly detailed. So yeah, you can see their entire... Wow, this is amazing. This is actually amazing. I don't think like Warno Red does. I didn't play Red Game, or excuse me, War Game Red Dragon, but I don't think Warno's, for example, spectator tab is this in depth. This is incredible. Yeah, you see all of their inventory, all their recon. Yeah, a lot of combat engineers in this deck apparently. But hey, I mean, this is a really cool system. If this works correctly, this is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's a shame the game couldn't have launched with something like this. This would have been perfect. Wow. But I mean, yeah, this is great for, I mean, primarily the competitive community. People like, say, N7 Shark is one of the main casters for a game like Company of Heroes 3, and he tries to cast for this game. He loves this game, but he doesn't play it because, or he doesn't cast it because casting it, as they mentioned before, was very cumbersome. You had to switch between Discord servers. It was just very, very unintuitive. But this is like a unified system, and it looks really well thought out. This especially, this statistics tab with the units and the deck breakdown, that's amazing. That's actually really, really cool. Furthermore, spectators can open any card's unit in just one click. Are you serious? Displaying the exact customization selected by a player? This tool will be particularly useful for streamers and casters when analyzing gameplay, and in particular teams complete air tab, as there will be no longer need to guess a build. That's amazing. So they did mention on the roadmap, and I'll put an overview of that roadmap here, if I remember to. They wanted to have that where you could click on an enemy unit. Say you're not in spectator mode, in game, if you're playing against an enemy team, or maybe even your friendly units, you can click on the unit and check exactly what the loadout is, because you can obviously do that for their own units in game, but if you try to hover over someone's unit and click on it, you can't actually see what it is. So that would definitely help with unit identification. It's a bit more of a noob friendly feature, but that's good. I mean, you shouldn't have to know that a Su-25T can't bring, is only available, I think, in mech, if I'm not mistaken, and it can't bring the radar system, so it has reduced visuals. Like, I just know that offhand because I play this game way too much compared to the Su-25T, and then there's the other Su-25 that's in Moto, for example, which has all those really sick upgrades, if I'm not mistaken. Now I kind of want to check that. I want to verify my bogus here. B Armory. Let's check that. So Su-25. Oh, no. I was wrong. No, I was wrong. No, this is the crappy one, I think. Yeah, mech. This is in mech. Okay. SM, the T is the one that's in Moto. Okay, so that's the good one. Is there any giveaway? Yeah, because usually you take the is it Credo or something like that? the extension, the visual range extension. But anyway, it just goes to show that even if a player like myself, who has over 600 hours in the game, will struggle identifying units, it's even more difficult to identify the unit loadouts, especially for planes. So having this functionality in the game where you can click on the unit and identify it and be able to check its loadout is extremely useful for veterans and noobs alike. Back to this. We have, yeah, look at this. You can see, yeah, he's taking HIMARS HE. Wow, this is just so cool. This is honestly really well thought out. It's taken them a long time, but if this is the functionality that's going to come with it, you have to say these devs, they take a long time with stuff, but when they do release these updates, they tend, obviously the PTE is kind of a mixed bag right now, but I mean, this is really good functionality. This is really good. Finally, observer slots will have no reconnect timeout with the option to forfeit the right to return. Okay, that makes sense. Spectators will also retain full access to in-game chat, subject to the same alpha, neutral, bravo visibility rules. Skirmish mode will not be left behind either, as we plan to release an adapted implementation that takes into account certain peculiarities of AI opponents. Interesting. Overall work on observer mode has entered the home stretch, and the dev team is currently putting the finishing touches on the core feature set. More advanced functionality such as player tracking will follow later. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. So again, spectator mode has been a pretty requested feature. It applies more to the competitive side of the game, but you have to understand that with functionality like this, all of this stuff is going to get, or I should say the majority of this functionality is going to be rolled into the replay mode when that comes. Replay mode is absolutely critical for the game's long-term health. I think it's one of 4 or 5 features that, again, I'm going to flash here on the roadmap, the up-to-date roadmap, so to speak. I think the 5 main features the devs really need to nail before they release China next year are the spectator mode is one of them. Replay mode, definitely. Offline skirmish. Solo save states for campaign. Those are really the main 4, I would say. Yeah, and this content, yeah, there's another one. No, it's a replay functionality. There is, yeah, replays, solo skirmish, co-op campaign. Yeah, co-op campaign and save state. Co-op campaign for me personally is a big one. I would love to have some of my friends play the game, especially with the China DLC is apparently going to have some sort of sandbox element and deck customization in it. So having co-op with that, for example, say you bring a ground-based deck and your friend brings an air-based deck and you play co-op on a mission, that would be so much fun. So much fun. But in any case, boys, that's going to do it for this one. The devs are clearly making some progress here. They mentioned in the last stream that there was going to be a few patches coming. We know that the PTE integration patch is coming for vanilla, hopefully by the end of the month. It makes sense for it to be on the 1-year anniversary of the game, which is only 2 weeks away. So that would be nice. Less than 2 weeks if we go by the Vanguard edition release date. This is going to be part of the technical patch, which is supposedly coming in July. This is amazing functionality. This is going to bring a nice breath of fresh air to the content creation community. You'll see people actually playing this again competitively. Not that they've stopped, but this will make it a lot more enticing to play. So you have that, and then you have Roskvardia. Roskvardia is coming at the end of the summer. August is the end of the Russian summer, so we're all hoping for that. But most likely it's going to be September 21st, which is the summer or the that's not the winter solstice, it's the summer solstice or fall solstice, whatever. Clearly the game is entering a pretty good phase here, and I know content and production content especially has been slow in production, and functionality implementation has been slow, but this is clearly a step in the right direction for the devs. And yeah, it's one step closer to replay system, which is by far the most requested functionality on the multiplayer side of things. But yeah, it seems like there is a light at the end of the tunnel for us Broken Arrow enjoyers. In any case, if you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bells. Can't speak English at this point. Ring the notification bell if you guys want to be kept up to date on Broken Arrow content or my content personally. Comment down below if you have any questions, or if you have nothing nice to say, it's fine with me. This is CASPR-AirTaxKing, egressing out.